Well, tomorrow the Speed Art Museum will be unveiling a new loaned exhibit, Stories Retold, American Art from Princeton University Art Museum. Joining me now with more on what you can expect is Carl Cousereau, Princeton University Art Museum's curator, and it's great to have you here.
Good morning, good to be here.
So exciting for this.
Thanks.
And so it opens this week, and what can we expect from it?
Well, yeah, it opens tomorrow and is up through January 7th, and I'm urged to say that on Sunday, admission is free.
Yes.
So that's a real reason to head in on
Even
a Sunday.
more reasons to visit the Speed on Sunday.
The show is about 100 objects ranging from the 18th to the 21st centuries. They're all works from our collection, and the reason we're able to bring it to you is that our museum is currently we're building a new one, and so we're sending a few things around to various museums, and this exhibition is one of a couple that we're doing. You're seeing, I think, now a few of the highlights from the exhibition. And it's a little bit different from other exhibitions that people might have seen, in that usually when you see an exhibition, you sort of move along and see objects individually. The idea here is to put them together in groups, so that there are 30 groups among the 100 objects in the show. And the point of that is that each of those objects, when they're seen in kind of juxtaposition with each other, take on a different meaning than they would have previously. So you can mix up old art and new art, and in that way address themes and ideas and issues that wouldn't probably come to the fore if you were just looking at the individual object on its own. And the point of that is just because it enables us to bring contemporary concerns, and in particular the show really revolves around gender and race and the environment, so issues that we're really contending with right now as a culture, in a way that gives relevance to historical works of art and makes them sort of vibrant again for contemporary audiences.
Is there a particular group that you have found is if you could give somebody the most title, the most compelling, or that you hear visitors say, I was especially moved by this? Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to choose a favorite, but I give you one example, which is two 19th century paintings. In this case, they're both historical works of art, from the Hudson River School, which is the nation's first independent art movement, so landscape paintings, and named because of the Hudson River and along the Hudson River in New York. Traditional landscape paintings that you would normally just sort of walk right by, but if you look really closely at them, they each have very small figures in them. In one of them, which was painted by a very prominent artist, Asher Durand, who's a white artist, as most of them were at that time, there's a man dressed in red, white, and blue sort of walking into the landscape. And I think that that is the artist's way of signaling that what landscape painting was about during the 19th century in many ways was to encourage the settlement of this sort of great continent that settler colonialists had come upon. That's juxtaposed in the show with a work of art by an African-American painter, and there were very few of them during the 19th century, named Robert Duncanson, who actually worked just up the Ohio River in Cincinnati for much of his career. And that painting also has 3 different figures in it, but they're very subtly, but nonetheless intentionally, painted in different skin tones. So one is black, one is copper toned to represent Native Americans, and one is white. And I think that those figures were the artist's way of signaling that what he hoped this new sort of American nation landscape could be is a place where races would harmoniously intermingle. And so there are 2 paintings of really the same decade, the 1850s, by 2 different artists, that if you look very carefully at them and focus on what they have in common, which is these little figures, you can see really different things emerge out of them based on who the artists were and what the issues that were important to them were,
Yeah.
given who they were at that
Easter
at that
eggs,
time.
if you will, as we call
Indeed.
them today.
Yeah.
So go look for them. There's so much more meaning layered in there. Thank you so much for stopping by. This opens again tomorrow, runs through January. If you would like more information, and don't forget there, it's free to visit on Sundays as well there at the Speed Museum. Just go to thespeedmuseum.org.